I will tell you what, if you don't watch Dana White's Contender series, you are missing some really good fights and fighters. And a perfect example of one of the great fighters that come off that show is my next guest, Carlos Prates. He won his Contender series fight last year by knockout. And now this year, I don't want to say he's going to win Fighter of the Year because it's a long stretch, but he's 3-0 with three knockouts this year. And on Saturday at UFC Vegas 100, he will take on veteran Neil Magny in the main event with a chance to go 4-0, kind of like what Kevin Holland did in 2020 when he went 5-0 in the year and kind of at least got honorable mention Fighter of the Year. Carlos, welcome. How are you?
Thanks so much, brother. Thank you. It's a pleasure to me being here with you, talking with you. I'm feeling great. I'm really happy.
After your fight with Li Jingliang, UFC 305, I think I tweeted out that day. I said I would love to see this guy fight Michael Morales the very next fight, and then Morales I think fought the next week and was also impressive. There's a lot of good fights for you in this division, but they gave you kind of a different challenge in Neil Magny right now, right? You fought a lot of strikers. Neil Magny, not necessarily a guy that's going to stand and bang with you.
Yeah, it's really good. First, I would fight against Hand Brown, but it's not happening. And then UFC give me Neil Magny. I'm really happy. Neil Magny is a top 15 in the world. Really good opponent. A lot of fighting in UFC. So I'm really happy with this opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a vote of confidence in you, is it not? The fact that that guy, I think he has the most wins in the welterweight division, if I'm not mistaken, a ton of fights in the UFC, just been around a long time. The fact that they would match you up with him, and this is only your fourth UFC fight, would say that they have a lot of confidence in your ability. Do you believe that? Do you feel like they have a lot of confidence in you? What I was saying was basically that they show confidence in you by giving you somebody like Neil Magny, a veteran. It shows that they believe in you with only four fights. Do you agree with
Yeah,
that?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. I agree. My manager say Hunter messaging him and say Dana White asked you to put me against Neil Magny on the main event.
Mm.
So I was really happy, and for sure they test me to see where I can go, and how much he can bet in me.
You are 20-6 in your career, but it's like you've had two different careers. Your start, you win one, lose one. At 2 years in, you were 5-4. Now you're 20-6, so you've won 15 of the last 17 fights. What was it at the beginning that you kind of weren't able to get over the hump and win consistently? What changed?
I I think after I spent a lot of time in Thailand, because Thailand give him a lot of experience, and more make me more confident to fight even Muay Thai or MMA, and also I was like really young when I was losing a lot, and was fighting a wrong weight division and didn't train too much, spend a lot of time with things that don't make me better, and then I get a little bit old, more more confident and things like that, and the things going to happen.
Yeah, you've really been on an incredible roll right now. That win over Li Jingliang. I mean, Jingliang got ragdolled by Hamza Chimaev, but that was kind of a different type of fight. But you, in striking, just really tore him apart. Looking back on your career, would you say the win over Jingliang to this point is the most significant in your career at this point? Do you think beating
So can you
Jingliang
ask
was the
again?
biggest? Yeah,
For sure, for sure. You mean the biggest win of my career?
correct. The biggest win and the best performance. Those two, both of them. Do you think it was the biggest win
Yeah,
in
for sure,
performance?
for sure. So far, he's a really good opponent. Never was being knocked out, and yeah, I think the biggest win of my career.
Yeah, that puts you in a different category, I think. What do you make of the comparisons to Anderson Silva, right? Anderson Silva is a legend in your country in Brazil. He's a legend pretty much everywhere. And Dana White said last year when you earned your contract on the Contender Series that you reminded him of a young Anderson Silva. That's a lot of pressure for any fighter, let alone a Brazilian fighter, where you're going to be watched very carefully and compared. What did that mean to you? And has it been a burden or has it been a good thing?
Bro, it's good. It's good. I don't feel any pressure, to be honest.
No?
I just go on the side of no, I just step inside of the cage and try to do my best, you know. Like I can win the fight, but if I didn't give my best, I'm not happy, you know. I just I all the time I look to do my best, and of course I heard about I'm look like Anderson Silva is really nice, but I'm working hard to maybe in 5 years or 10 years then I might come to another guy and say, "Hey, that guy looks like a Carlos Prates on his prime,"
Yeah.
you know.
There we go. Yeah, that's a good point. Now you're on a really hot team, the Fighting Nerds, getting a lot of attention. Caio Baralho is doing unbelievably. He's going to have a big fight very soon. But I think the thing that sets you apart is not necessarily the glasses that the Fighting Nerds are known for, but the cigarette smoking. How do you get away with smoking cigarettes? You're a professional athlete, my friend. How are you pulling this off?
Bro, to be honest, I smoke a long time. I smoked since 12, 13 years old. And yeah, and that's it. And then I start to train with the 15 and I never stop. And yeah, we keep it going.
Aren't you afraid about it affecting your health and affecting, the one thing is your breath. Like that's what they say, cigarette cuts down on your breath. Like, what about your cardio?
Bro, I when I have fight, I'm the first guy come to the gym and the last one to leave the gym. I train a lot because I know about talking about the cardio. I one step, how I can say, one step before of everybody, you know, because I'm smoke. But bro, I'm training a lot. I need to fight 5, 6, 7 rounds. You're gonna fight,
This being a 5 round fight on Saturday, I'm sure Magny's going to probably, as he will say, take you into deep waters. I'm sure you're expecting it to maybe be a little bit of a long fight. How does it change your mindset going in when you know it's a 5 rounder as opposed to a 3 rounder?
bro. Nothing changed. I just training. I just training to fight 5 rounds. You know, my body condition, straight condition, Muay Thai training, the sparring, every training I make a little bit longer than when I fight 3 rounds, but I'm ready to fight 5 rounds, 6 rounds, 7 rounds. No matter how many rounds, you're gonna be there and you're gonna fight.
That is amazing. From your standpoint, do you feel like this is a battle for you to get ranked? Like if you can finish Neil Magny the way you finished Radtke and Jingliang and some of the other fighters that you fought, Trevin Giles was a good win for you, of course. Do you feel like you would deserve to be ranked at that point with those 4 wins all in a row?
I deserve it to be ranked if I win in Magni. If I don't get the win, I don't deserve. But I think so. I think I'm gonna fight Neil Magny. I'm gonna knock him out with all respect. He looks a really nice guy, but it's business. It is what it is. We're gonna step in the cage and try to kill each other. And I think I'm gonna win and gonna be on the rank finally.
Do you watch a lot of video of your opponents? So did you watch Magny's past fights?
Not really.
No.
Because I watch New Magny, bro. Before I start to fight in UFC, before I start to live in Thailand, the guy is the guy who have the most wins in the welterweight division. So when I was like younger in Brazil, I was watching his fight in UFC.
He's fought a lot of great fighters, Gilbert Burns,
Yeah,
Shavkat, Ian Machado, Gary.
John
But
Hendricks.
I mentioned a name before. He fought Michael Morales in his last fight. That's a
Yeah.
fight I know I mentioned a lot of people would like to see you fight Michael Morales. Is that a fight that you think if you beat Magny, since you both beat Neil Magny, that might be possible to make? And do you think you would match up good with Michael?
I think so. I think so. It would be great, but I look at you fight in Australia, so I don't know if UFC want make me against him in Australia, because my daughter living there, so I'm really excited to go to Australia. So I don't know if they want to do the guy from Ecuador and another guy from Brazil in Australia.
and put him
But
in Australia.
also I heard something in May. In May, they're gonna do a show in Brazil, and then it would be cool fight against Morales in Brazil.
Well, there you go. That would be great.
Yeah,
You have been on a pretty fast pace since the Contender Series. You fought a lot. I think this is your fifth fight in a little over a year. Do you feel like you need a break after this? Like
yeah. Yeah, I planning to go to Australia because my daughter living there, but all broken, my feet, my hand, my fingers, my back, my neck. I have a lot of injuries, so I think I'm gonna fight now. And if I'm not healthy, I don't gonna fight in Australia, because now we're not talking about only money and only fights to go there and fight. Now, after doing Neil Magny, I'm gonna be a ranked on the way to the belt, to the title, and we need to think with our brain, not with the heart, not thinking with my heart, thinking with my brain.
yes,
So let's see.
they call him the next Anderson Silva, but he's going to be the first Carlos Prates, and you can see him on Saturday against Neil Magny, UFC Vegas 100. Carlos, appreciate you, brother. Good luck against Neil on Saturday.
Thanks so much, brother. Thanks so much. It was a pleasure for talk with you.
Be well.